the PRS Horsemeat, or as I like to call it, the IKEA meatball. Let's just get this out of the way right away. This is a dumb name, but this is a fantastic pedal. So by now, I am sure you are aware that PRS has come out with a line of pedals. In fact, we have all three of them here. The also dumbly named Mary Cries compressor, as well as the, what is this thing called? Wind Through the Trees double flanger. Now we're gonna have videos coming out on these two pedals as well, but instead of lumping them all in like everybody else does, I kind of want to dive into each one of these individually. So the Horsemeat review is part one of the PRS pedal reviews. So we'll get into this thing today. So first of all, it's interesting that a guitar company would actually make pedals, especially after so long of not doing so. It's interesting that they're dipping their toes into this space now. These things are assembled in the United States. I don't know, obviously, the origin of each of the parts, but they are very well made. They look nice. They have the PRS kind of classy sort of feel to them when you look at them. So, first of all, what is this thing? Paul Reed Smith says that this is kind of his take on a Klon, but better, which I sort of get. It can sound kind of Klon-y, but there's a big, big difference with this thing. Gain. In order to get like the boosty kind of just a little bit sort of Klon boost sort of thing, you have to kind of turn the gain knob way down like this, and the level has to kind of come up to compensate for it, something like so. And it sounds thusly. If you put all the knobs at noon, like this, it's very, very gainy. Even if you put it into like the 50-watt 6L6 Blackstar St. James and you play it with some decently outputted pickups, like a P90, for example, and it sounds like this. So to me, it's way more gain than a Klon. The other thing I really like about it is it's got this EQ section over here that is cut, boost, sort of active sort of EQ, and this voice that kind of centers where the mids are, kind of. And if you play around with this thing, you can really get all kinds of different pickups to sound good. With these little knobs right here, you can get some pretty nice EQ'd sounds that sound kind of like this. it sounds really good through the Princeton Tone Master over here with a P90 and just that little bit of boost. I think you can get a really good dirty sound out of a lower wattage amp. So overall, I'm really impressed with the PRS Horsemeat IKEA meatball. I think it is a fantastic pedal. I have been using it a lot, and actually you may not know this because I may not have said it out loud, but I've been using it in a bunch of other little demo things that we've been doing for the last couple of weeks because I really, really do like how it sounds. I think it is much more versatile than a regular Klon style circuit. So if his goal, Mr. Smith's goal, was to make a more versatile, wider ranging, more useful Klon that was just loosely based on the idea of a Klon, then I would say he hit it out of the park. If you want an actual Klon clone for much less than a Klon, then I don't think this is your pedal. If you want a reimagined sort of thing, like I said, this thing is the jam. There'll be a link to this pedal in the description below. It's $2.99. I should say this is not a sponsored video in this respect that they didn't pay me to say any of it. They didn't pay me for this video, but PRS did send me these 3 pedals so that I could try them because I couldn't get them anywhere. They were not in stock anywhere. And they actually offered, they emailed me and said, hey, would you like to try them? They implied that I'm supposed to give them back when I'm done. I hope not, because I really like it. I hope I get to keep it. But either way, I just want to be super transparent about that. So let's talk about the price point. $2.99 for that price point, the $2.99 price point. This is a very well constructed, very well laid out, great sounding pedal. If it's worth it to you, that's kind of up to you on what your price point is for a pedal like this. If you want a basic Klon clone where you just hit a button, it sounds exactly like a Klon, there are other options out there that may be cheaper. But there, to me, in the market right now, there is nothing that sounds like this pedal. So if you want this gainier, more versatile, based on loosely with some kind of cool things around the edges pedal, then I think this is the only option. And I think it is really worth it. And it does have, it feels PRS-y. It feels nice. It's a good pedal. It's just a pedal, but it's good. So yeah, there's a link to it in the description. If you use that link, it helps out the channel. I do appreciate it very much. If you have any questions about it, put it in the comments, and maybe we'll address those on our podcast on Tuesday. We also have the other 2 pedals to review. So this is just part 1 of Dumb Name Cool Pedal. So do me a favor and hit the subscribe button and the like button, and we'll see you in the next video.